The choice of topic was motivated by the neglect of indigenous African knowledge, most especially indigenous medical knowledge in Nigeria. This preference for a one-sided Western exogenous knowledge system led to an identity crisis and a loss of interest in traditional culture and values among the rural population of Edo State and Nigeria, as well as to poverty of economic and political institutions. These theses demonstrated that the journey to physical, mental, social, and economic and enterprise health must follow the reverse order, that is, must start from the village and grow outwards towards the city. In other words, integral healing, which I also call PAX, biologically and metaphorically starts with nature and community. Integral research was used in these theses. The Integral Worlds model puts emphasis on a holistic way of research and social innovation that is built on the dynamics of the symbolic four worlds of South, East, North, and West. It helps to understand the strengths and weaknesses of each world and what each one can learn from the other. Each of the four worlds, both metaphorically and literally, reflects more concretely a certain part of the world.
The South is mainly associated with Africa, the East with Asia, the North with Europe, and the West mainly with America.
In reality, the four worlds are metaphorically present in every society, in every organization, and in each person. There is in each society, organization, and each person a southern relational world of nature and community, an eastern holistic world of culture and spirituality, a northern world of systems, technology, and structure, and finally, a western world of enterprise, economics, and continuity. Each world has its own preferred and authentic research methodology. In the action research-oriented level of each research path, the South will apply participatory action research, otherwise known as PAR. The East, cooperative inquiry, CI. The North, socio-technical design. And the West, action research. Emancipatory feminist critique was the methodology employed in these theses, leading to a new homegrown contextual theory called communitalism or Pax Africana, which can also be applied globally. Although my research path followed the Southern relational trajectory, I chose to combine participatory action research PAR and cooperative inquiry CI as my action research methodologies. In the research process, I employed the tenets of PAR to activate the local community to engage in regular dialogue, to identify their challenges, and find a common ground to effectively prefer their own solutions rather than solutions from without. This led to the creation of a WU Development and Educational Multipurpose Cooperative Society, otherwise known as EDAMS. From a local group of marginalized and underrated people, EDAMS is becoming a voice powerful enough to challenge the status quo and force a change in power relations in Edo State and Nigeria. In the CI group, I followed Heron's four epistemologies or ways of knowing, namely experiential knowing, presentational knowing, propositional knowing, and practical knowing. One of the practical transformative contributions of the CI group is the creation and continuous evolution of the Africa Center for Integral Research and Development (ACRID). It aims to institutionalize knowledge creation in and for a WU village, Edo State, Nigeria, and Africa as a whole via a new theory called communitalism based on the four aspects of integral healing or PAX. Pax Communis, Pax Spiritus, Pax Scientia, and Pax Economia, altogether called Pax Africana. Communitalism originating from the South demonstrates that an institutionalized model of business and enterprise based on nature, community, spirituality and humanism, integrally so to speak, is a better driver of social and technological innovation in Africa. These theses propose the theory of communitalism as a more indigenous, sustainable, and integral approach to tackling the social, political, economic, and developmental challenges of today's Africa. Such a communitalist perspective, also called Pax Africana, built on the 4 Pax, the 4 Ps, address the 4 key dimensions of development, which I termed community communes, sanctuary spirituals, university scientia, and laboratory economia. The 4 Ps are expressed concretely in a rural community of Edo State, Nigeria, through 4 corresponding local institutions, namely the Edams for Pax Communes, St. Benedict Monastery for Pax Spirituals, Aserd for Pax Scientia, and Pax Herbal for Pax Economia. The feminist critique method used in these theses surfaced some of the limitations of existing theories such as capitalism, socialism, and communism, and how Africa has been a testing ground for such Western theories which were imposed from outside. Such imposition of concepts and ideas are not only demeaning but also unsustainable and only serve the selfish interests of the elite. One of the major defects of such exogenous theories is that they are not built on nature and community and are not related to the people's culture and worldview. What then is the way forward? Violent revolutions? Guerrilla warfare? Civil wars? History has shown that none of these has really produced sustainable outcomes. These theses argued for the need to have a southern theory to serve as an alternative to the conventional theories. Majority of African intellectuals and activists, while criticizing existing theories, often do not provide alternative theories to correct the prevalent inadequacies entrenched in conventional social, political, and economic systems. The 4 Pax dimensions then are brought together as a commune, a community of knowledge, bridging the gap between community, spirit, nature, and reason. The chief characteristic of conventional universities or Mode 1 universities is their preoccupation with fundamental research with little or no interest in the application of the knowledge. Mode 1 universities then are built on the concept of research as an objective search for truth independent of nature, community, and the environment. These theses argued for a return to the Mode 2 way of knowledge production, which is interdisciplinary. It is a return because Mode 2 or context-driven method of research was the dominant way of knowledge creation until the 19th century. The focus of ACRID or ACIRD is the generation of community-based knowledge through Pax Africana, the 4 Pax. The Community Development Association (EDAMS) is specifically formed to introduce an emancipatory methodological, if not political, system into knowledge creation and knowledge sharing in the community. This is important to ensure that the community does not stagnate in past cultures and traditions, but is opened to the continuous creative and dynamic interaction between tradition and modernity, individual and community, as well as the indigenous and the exogenous. Such trends and interdisciplinary interaction is the unique strength of communitalist process of knowledge creation, leading to a true Pax Scientia communitalism in action. Another characteristic of our COM University, Community University, within the context of Pax Africana and a local community, is the embrace of the spiritual, which we call the sanctuary. Efforts of our so-called modern intellectuals to remove the sanctuary from the university has not been successful. Separating the spiritual from the secular is as absurd as separating teaching from research. The spiritual within the context of Pax Spirituals is not about going to church or external religious rituals. Such religiosity shares all the features of secularism with an added slant of hypocrisy to it. The Nigerian political, economic and social space is thus occupied by such religiosity, which is often bereft of morality or good character. This explains why, despite the fact that churches are springing up everywhere and in every corner in Nigeria, anti-social activities such as crime, theft and robberies as well as corruption are also on the increase. Once religion spiritus loses touch with community that's communis and with reason which is scientia, the result can be disastrous. ACIRD is set up to research the relationship between nature, community and science and their impact in the socio-economic development of the society. In this way, we overcome imbalanced worldviews, that is, transcultural, alleviate disciplinary imbalances, that is, transdisciplinary, unravel missing depth, which is transformational, and transcend individual overemphasis, which is transpersonal. ACIRD will continue to evolve research and conceptualize the theory of communitalism, integral healing, integral research, integral education, integral enterprise, all emerging from Ewu in Edo State, Nigeria, and evolving to embrace other centers in Nigeria, Africa, and other parts of the world. Since knowledge by its nature is borderless and cannot be confined, the vision of ACIRD goes beyond the local community of Ewu in Edo State and Nigeria to embrace other research centers within and without, be it in Zimbabwe, South Africa, Egypt, Slovenia, or the United Kingdom. ACIRD is in the process of forming a collaborative partnership with the Geneva-based Transform Center for Integral Development and with the Institute of African Studies of the University of Ibadan, Nigeria's premier and best-rated university, to design a new postgraduate curriculum on transformation studies in Africa. Also, ACIRD recently partnered with the University of Ibadan Institute of African Studies to design a master's and PhD curricula on traditional African medicine, TAM. A university, in our integral use of the term, is also a laboratory, a place of action research, philosophy in action, where theories and action, dream and reality are dynamically merged. It is a place where knowledge is translated into capabilities and capabilities are translated into knowledge. In this case, ACIRD, representing Pax Scientia, and Pax Herbal, representing Pax Economia, are intrinsically linked. Education, then, is not something done in isolation from one's community. Rather, education takes place in full embeddedness in the real-life world of one's community. The dynamism of integral development is this blend of the indigenous and the exogenous, the local and the global, the new and the old. While it is essential that we reconnect with our origins and our roots in order to discover our identity and originality, it is equally important that we reach out to other people, other cultures, other worldviews, and other ways of doing things, as expressed in an Igbo proverb, when something stands, another thing will stand beside it. There is not one but many ways of knowing, doing, seeing and being. An integral university helps to build an integral society where we all have a voice, where we all share in the same wisdom embodied in humanity's cultural heritage and diversity. In the integral university, we learn how to be human. We learn how to relate to the earth and to one another in a positive, creative, and productive way. This indeed is the way of a true Pax Africana.